Hello and welcome to this playthrough of Dune. This is Let's Start Playing. And today I'm going to be playing a full two-player game of Dune. I'm going to be playing as both players but showing it from the Harkonnen perspective. I hope you enjoy this playthrough. I will be recording my voiceover from the future, so if I sort of know what's happening, I do. So that's what's going on. We're going to get stuck straight into the first round where I'm going to draw 2 cards for the Harkonnen player. As promised, here I am drawing 2 cards for the Harkonnen player. Let's see what I get. So I've got Workhorse of Arrakis, place 3 Harkonnen harvesters on the board, then draw 1 planning card. In support of the minor houses, move a legion from any village directly to an area of your choice containing one of your legions. So the board's just been set up. I used the default setup. These are the village spaces on the board. So they're the small cities for the Harkonnen player. We are now putting out the pre-science cards. We draw 3 of these at the start of every round. And this is how the Atreides player can score victory points. So they're going to get the indicator, go up in the indicated tracks based on the colours in the middle. So 1 for green, 2 for yellow. This one we actually want them to get to the minor Urn areas. This one wants them to spend a desert power action and discard a planning card. So just sort of lose some momentum on the board to get 2 yellow points. And Desert War wants them to have, I believe, 4 legions on the board that are not on their stitches that they start on. So we're moving into the spice phase where we get to put out the vehicles and lose the dice as indicated on our spice board here. Here I am putting out harvesters. I need to put out 4 harvesters. That's because that's where it was positioned on the spice board. So I go on whatever my lowest faction reputation is. So at the moment they're all the same and they're all on the second space down. So I've decided to put 1 harvester in the top right hand corner just because I want to try and get 2 spice from that one because it's on a deep desert spot. And the other ones I'm putting a bit closer to my troops to try and protect. I'm going to use this carry-all to protect that deep desert one. So if a sandworm does try to grab it, I will lift it in the air and save it for at least the time for it to generate spice before taking it off the board. And these ornithopters will let me position my troops around faster. Seem like some logical spots to get out to my harvesters and protect them. Just checking what I'm doing next. So I need to roll all the remaining action dice. You can see there's 1 action dice in the bottom there. That's the one I disregarded as part of the Spice Must Flows board. And the factions are those little tokens to the left of the Spice Must Flows board. Now I'm just lining up my actions on where they are on the board. You can see I've got 0 deployment actions. I've got lots of leadership, a bit of strategy, which is also movement, and 2 mentat, which is just those action cards. The Atreides players are also going to do this. They're going to get 2 deployments, a leadership, and a strategy. So these are the leader cards. So you have 3 leader figures in front of your board, and these are the cards that match them. These guys upgrade your actions, make them a bit stronger. You can use them once per round, so 1 action dice can be assigned to one leader each round. Just having a look at the 2 cards I picked up at the start again. And yeah, hopefully we will have a good game. The general plan is just to get out to those harvesters, trying to protect them from the Atreides, and just try and build up my supply of harvesters on the board. Maybe try and rush out to this token out here behind this ecological testing station. That testing station there, that little blue token, that's a place where the Atreides player can generate some points. Now the Atreides player should have gone first, and I swear I must have done something on their turn. Perhaps the cheating has already begun. So the Atreides player always goes first in a round. And at the moment I'm doing a leadership action. So I'm moving 2 legions with leaders. And these 2 legions are moving into the same position which will prove to be a pretty silly idea. But now we're going to swap over to the Atreides player, and it looks like I did skip them in the first round, so one point of cheating already. We will going to put out some worm sign tokens. This is ways for the Atreides player to form paths and get increased movement speed across the board, and potentially have some worms to work with later on in the game if they turn into soundworms in the worm sign reveal phase, which happens at the end of each round. That's their action done. Back over to me. It looks like I'm going to do a strategy action to move some more troops. I didn't activate my leader bonus for my leadership action earlier because I only had 2 leaders to move on the board. I only started with 2 leaders on the board. So here I'm using my ornithopter to fly these units over and get out to this harvester really quick. So when I use that ornithopter, I can use it because it's in a flight zone that's adjacent to my units, and I just consume it to move it 1 extra space. Just deciding which is the second group of units I'm going to move and my plan on them. I think I have a change of heart here, and I'm actually going to move the troops from Arrakis down here because I want to move the ones from the Imperial Basin north towards the other harvester, so they've got less distance to travel. So these guys are going to come through here instead and get out to that harvester just in front of them. That's the plan, at least, anyway. And maybe we can work our way up towards those stitches up top and try and get some victory points from there. Now the Atreides player is doing the worm sign move again, keeping his action dice, waiting to see what I'm doing. I reckon this would be a pretty typical move in a 2-player game. And he's just forming paths. Now he's got 2 paths to attack my troops there, which puts them in a fair bit of danger. I think I didn't disregard my strategy dice from last turn, so I just did that now. Yeah, so I'm just sort of worried. So these are Atreides troops. They don't look like much with just 1 leader there, but they have deployment tokens next to them, which contains up to 2 troops, and they can be a mixture of elites, normals, and elites and normals really. They don't get leaders from them. It looks like I want to try and get this stitch down here, and moving on to the ecological testing station will be a good way to stop them from moving on to there as well. And I want to move this leader because I've got 2 movement for leaderships on my turn, but I'm a bit worried about this Atreides player making a path to my city there, so I want to leave it defended at the same time. So yeah, I think I decide not to move because it's just concerning if I move them out. I really need to do some deployment actions this round so I can bulk up my troops a bit and get them out. But unfortunately, that's not how the dice rolled. So I just did 1 movement with that leadership. And I need more leaders on the board so I can make more use of that leadership action for sure. Alright, the Atreides player is going ahead with a deployment. So what they do is they draw one of the 8 tokens randomly from a bag and put it onto the board. And they only draw 1, so here I am trying to cheat for them, and I think I catch myself pretty soon. Yeah, just 1. And they get a leader whenever they do this action as well. Here they are, they're deciding which leader to put out, and they decide to go with this guy here. I think he's their strongest leader at the start in terms of dice. Okay, so just looks like I'm going to play this planning card now. So this lets me put out some harvesters onto the board. I think it's an additional 4 from the look of the card. So this is going to be a big economy boost for me, which seems like the perfect card to get in the first round, honestly. I'm trying to place these all out in all the deep deserts and draw the Arrakis player away from my armies. It seems like they're getting kind of building up to be aggressive towards me, and if I can get them to go to the outer skirts of the desert, that's going to leave my armies more room to maneuver. Got a new planning card. It was called Hunter Seeker. It lets me take out a named leader that's in the same area as a section of my Harkonnen legions. So This legion's not in any section yet, but if they moved into that quarter in the top right there, they would be able to kill that leader using that card. And a named leader is just one of the leaders that has a card in your action board. Someone like Paul or Jessica. Alright, they're doing another deploy action, and this time they're going up here. Looks like they're getting ready to take on that harvester up in the top right over there. But they're gunning for the one that lets them move 4 legions from Stitches. So they're planning to do a whole bunch of moves soon and claim that card. Right, we're doing a strategy action. So we're going to move all these troops one step closer towards this Stitch out here. They're not too worried about it. So when I was playing this game, I didn't look at the values of any of the Stitches, so I was trying to play as blind as possible as the Harkonnen player, like a real game. And so I don't know what that value is, even when I'm playing a game against myself. So it means I don't make very smart decisions for the Atreides player, but I also can't make pre-informed ones for the Harkonnen player. They're going to do this action and use their leader. So this is the first leader use we see. This lets them move 3 different legions instead of 2. And the first thing they're going to do is move into this harvester spot. So when you move into a harvester spot, it's considered a free area and no combat occurs. So simply, the Atreides player destroys the harvester. If I had a legion there, a battle would have occurred and it would have ended their action because you can only do 1 attack in a round. But that's not considered an attack, so they can keep going. Looks like they want to get out to these deep desert spots out here and try and interrupt my mining out this side. It's good for them to kill harvesters because it gives them red victory points if they get 2 in the same round. And they've got one more move. They're going to use some sand riding, it's called, where they travel across these tokens and lets them move like through a path of worm sign tokens on the board, so they can like ride the sands. And they've gone and taken out a second harvester, so that's going to give those back to me, and they're going to receive 1 red point straight away. So yeah, I guess it's a decent start. Interrupt some of my mining. I'm lucky I got those extra harvesters out. I'm pretty sure they've already done 3 moves, but this looks like a 4th move to me. We may have given them a bonus move there. I didn't realise I was cheating for them as well, so that's 1 all now on the cheat sheet. I still want to use this guy with the leader, but I just don't have 3 leaders to move with, so I'm doing the leadership action and doing an attack with it. We flip their deployment token and they have 1 regular soldier, so they put 1 soldier on the board. And I have, I believe, 5 troops there. No, 6. I've got 6, so I roll 6 combat dice. And I've got 5 swords and a shield. Not bad, considering I'm up against one pathetic little dice. Actually, 3 more. Oh, it's a free Stitch, so that's really good. So that's like the strongest Stitch that they could have. And they pretty much have it undefended with the weakest deployment token and 1 leader. So they're going to get 3 hits back on me, so each leader can use up to 1 special result dice, and because they've rolled 2 specials there, they can only use 1 of them. So they're going to lose both of their units for sure. They have 0 defense, and they do 3 attack back against 1 shield, so I lose 2. So I can either lose 2 regulars, or I can lose an elite. Let's see how I go. I'm going to lose an elite, I think. And the regular should stay. Yep. And now that's going to claim the first 3 victory points of the game. So I don't have to move all my units here, and it would have been a lot smarter probably just to move 1 at this stage. So when you commit to an attack, you attack an adjacent region like that. But you don't have to move all your troops. As long as you don't even have to move anyone, I don't think. But I wouldn't have taken control of the Stitch if I didn't. So moving 1 would have been smart. Moving all of them, sort of going out into no man's land out there, so maybe a bit silly. But safety in numbers and all that. Alright, he's still pondering this Desert Ward card. It looks like he's very interested in getting that one done. So he's got leadership. He can make moves with 2 different leaders. But he's actually going to use it to play a planning card. So this says replace any number of the revealed pre-science cards. So I'm with new ones. So I'm choosing to replace these 2 and draw 2 fresh ones out. And I think they're doing this because they want to try and get 2 cards completed, which is the maximum you can do each round. First one, so this second one says, long as pools in the same area as a deployment token, you can flip it and you get 1 on each track. And the top card said, if you destroy a harvester this round, you can claim that red point as well. So now the Atreides player is looking around, looking for a spot where he can move a legion from a garrison or from a stitch, and also destroy a harvester. So I think they look in vain here. They really want to get both of these cards done in this one action. And the reason why they've got to move is because the planning card they played also said you can move this legion 1 space. In the end, it decided to move this one down, and I believe they're doing this because they can see the city is pretty undefended at this point, and all my armies are marching out all over the place, so they're just trying to put some pressure on my cities. They have to move their trackers because they've claimed the pre-science card. They've fulfilled the requirement to complete it, which was to have 4 legions off stitches. And when the red one gets the 3 on the track, you get to recruit this leader. So they got an additional leader into their recruit spot, and this lets them draw 2 deployment tokens when they do the deploy action and pick which one they want to deploy and put the other one back in the bag. I'm going to do my Mentat action as my last one, which lets me just simply draw 2 more planning cards. This one lets me put 3 regular units, a leader in Cathrag, and this one lets me reveal any stitch and all Atreides deployment tokens in an area of your choice, then draw 2 planning cards. So a good way to get some info out on the board. Next, we're going to move into the spice harvesting phase, where we put worm sign tokens in all the locations of harvesters. So harvesters are never safe. They attract these worms, and every turn you have to see whether or not worms are going to pop out of the ground and wreck your day. And we'll find out exactly how devastating this can be, I think. So let's go have a flip. So that little lump means if it's on a deep desert, it gets destroyed. So 2 destroyed there, 3 destroyed, 4 destroyed. Okay, never, ever, ever, ever put a harvester on a deep desert space. It's doomed to die. So this is something I learned from one round of play in Dune War for Arrakis, is your harvesters should never be in a deep desert unless you have a carry-all, because the odds of them dying seem to be drastically high compared to not being on a deep desert space. We've got a worm over there as well, so a sandworm will enter the board, get one of those cool minis out if I actually had minis, which would be so much nicer. Alright, not pretty good for the Atreides player, I've got to say, that harvest phase. I've got a total of 3 spice here. And 3 spice can let me either raise 1 or keep 1 level and reserve 1 spice for the next round. So here I'm just checking which guild I want to go up in rank, and I've decided with this one. I'm going to put the other 2 down. So that the one I went up in rank is the one that lets me maintain 6 legions on the board. If it was to get down all the way down to the bottom of the track, I'd be reduced to, I think, 4 or 5 legions in a group. Here you have to discard all your flying units at the end of the round, and when you do that you can choose to use any ornithopters to scout, and so I just scouted that top stitch to find out what value it is, and it's a 2. Alright, refresh any leader cards. The Atreides player is going to go ahead and do that. We would discard down to 6 planning cards as well if we had more than 6. The Atreides player can decide whether to get rid of these cards or to shuffle them back in the deck. He's going to decide to shuffle both of these back in the deck, and also the 2 that he was supposed to shuffle back in in the deck earlier. Luckily I hadn't drawn any since then. And we may as well just go ahead and reveal 3 for the next round, because we're up to the start of a new round. So this happens right at the start. We've got the same one, Destroy Harvester, Hidden Wind Traps, not sure what that one does, and this is the pull card again. Hidden Wind Traps is during the action turn, if there are 3 Atreides leadings in 3 more mountain areas, so got to get him onto those mountains. Drawing 2 planning cards at the start of my round, and I've got Sandmasters, minimum 4 spice collected during the round if you play it. It's pretty good. And move a legion from Arrakis or Kafrag directly to an area containing one of your legions. It's a good way to fly some people out and free up a town spot for more recruiting. Here I'm just going, well, I'm going to kill this Stitch over here. That's the mission. I forgot to just destroy that Harvester as part of the Destroy Harvester phase, because it got airlifted, but it doesn't get to survive after it collects spice. The Carryall does a half good job at saving things. So I get an additional -1 dice this round because both of 2 of my faction reputations went down because I gave them no spice last round. So they punished me by giving me less actions, but I also get more harvesters because I'm lower on the track. Alright, so here's where I realized I forgot to do the storm damage, and I'm going back to do the storm damage. So if the Harkonnen units are out on the deserts every round, just after you check the spice, you're supposed to check if they get damaged by storms. So that was the only one out on the board that needed to be damaged by storms, so I just went ahead and rolled that then. So all my harvesters will be nowhere near the edge of the board, you'll find out, and I've got 5 of them this round. So this is sort of my corner of the desert now, so let's just make it the spice plains, spice harvesting plains. Ornithopter is going to help this army move up north and get to that Stitch above them. Another Ornithopter, hopefully I'll put it somewhere logical to position armies around, move them a bit quicker. Over there should be alright, just in case they come to attack me, so I think that's quite a defensive move, and I can fly over that sandworm maybe, if need be. Carryall, nowhere I can put it that can help. Well, it could help that middle one, but well, this one I'll go ahead and do that anyway. I've got 2 Carryalls this round. I actually should have 1, so I don't use them both anyway, but I guess that counts as a cheat, so yeah, one more cheat for the Harkonnen player there. Alright, we've got 2 leaderships, 3 leaderships. Love rolling leaderships when I've only got 1 leader on the board. That's great. I've got 0 deployments again, a Mentat, and 2 houses. And houses is basically a way just to upgrade regular units to elite units, which would be good if I had any deployment tokens, but unfortunately the dice don't love me. Deployment for them, they have a Mentat here, 2 Mentats. Mentats are probably the worst in my mind. No one wants to draw action cards as that turn, really. I want to move or deploy. That's sort of that's the winning formula in my book. So Atreides go first. They actually go first this time, and we are going to go ahead and take out this harvester straight away. They want it dead, so they can do that. For one of their moves, instantly dies. That should go on their board. Yep, get it over there. Good on me. And that instantly completes this one. So that's 1 red point for them straight away. Easy done. They should have up to 3 more moves. 2 more. 1 more move. Sorry. Pull doesn't give you 3 moves. Only the one on the Harkonnen side does. He wants to get Paul out to finish that token, I reckon, so that'd be a logical move for him. But where's he going to move next? This one? There is a ecological... Oops, you weren't supposed to see that. There is ecological testing station here, and this one had all the colors, so he can pick which one he wants to go up, and he wants to go up on green, so that indicates to me as the Harkonnen player that he's interested in getting green points and he's worried about it being all the way down at 0. Over to my turn, and I've still got no units to deploy. Would like to put this one out, recruit another leader in Cathrag. I'll soon find out that this is not my greatest play because Cathrag is already full of units and I could not possibly put out all these units. It's got 5 units in it, so I'd only actually get to put out one of these units. So I ditched that idea and do a leader move. Whoa. Oh yeah, that seems like an awfully long move. I guess I'm using their helicopter. All right, I'm gonna check that later in this video when it goes back over there. Make sure I didn't jump over 3 spots instead of 2. Using the planning card, I'm using the Scythe knife here. This lets me put a leader out and an elite unit out, and then do an attack action, an attack or a move action. So then move or attack with this legion. And he's either going to take out that group of units there or go for the ecological testing station. Now I think he makes probably the wrong move going for this testing station. Oh no, but he gets the green, and he obviously wanted green, so alright, not too bad, not too bad. Back over to my turn. Gonna use a leadership dice again. I know that was the one from last turn I didn't spend. Oh yeah, that's a legit move I did with that helicopter too, so that's good. That checks out. Not too much cheating going on. Let's see how I go this round. Leadership. We're gonna move these guys into that stitch there. Instantly get 2 victory points because it was undefended. And that should round out my movement because that is considered an attack. Of course, I forget here. I left myself a little note to remind myself that this is illegal. I should not be doing a second move because I attacked that token. It's not considered a free space. I move onto a sandworm for karma, so that's it all pans out. And a sandworm in a desert spot is 4 dice, so they're going to roll those. And of course they're going to get all 4 hits. So I'm not sure if that move really benefited me, that second move, but see how it goes. It's pretty much 2 elites dead. Is that what I'm going to do? Yeah, 2 elites dead. Rough as. Going to get their desert power out. So you can see how they had those desert power tokens out there without actually putting them out. It's because I didn't reveal them last turn as well. I should have done that. I'm not sure if that's a cheat for me or a cheat for them. I'm going to say it's a cheat for them, so we're about even still. And there, they put 2 more tokens out, trying to block me from my destinations. So that's support for the minor houses card. That lets me move a legion from any village to any army. This one lets me move a legion from Cathrag or directly to an area containing one of your legions or Arrakis. So this, I believe, is what I'm going to use to ship these guys out and get them reinforce that unit that's got smashed by that sandworm over there. Just going to ship it over top. It's pretty brave considering there's a whole army of Atreides units 2 spaces away. I mean, the sandworms can't get up on the mountains at least, so that's good. So I spent that, and I'm going to discard the aircraft over it card. Next up, they're doing deployment. So they're going to use their leader. So they draw 2, check which one they want more, and put the one they want more out. They're also going to get Paul out there, ready for the fight. They're getting defensive. And if they want to discard an actions dice and reveal the deployment token, they can to get all of those points. here I am discarding a card to play Cathrag, which is to put more units out. So 3 regulars, an elite, and a leader. That was part of the reason why I shipped them over there as well, because I had that card that could only be played in that city. And I really, really, really wanted another leader out so I can make more use of the leadership action. So let's get Baron Harkonnen out there. And it doesn't seem so silly now that I moved all those people out with the Atreides right at my door. What is their plan? They're thinking, and they decided to do a worm sign action. And they really want to stop, but they want to put one here. Stopping reinforcement, I guess, of that North Pole region. And actually, it's actually 2 armies that can access that. It's not great for me. And we're a bit worried about these guys coming in and taking out Arrakis as well. So we want to see them off. That'd be nice. We're going to play the house action. And we're going to go ahead and upgrade 3 regular boys to elite ones. Seems like a pretty good deal. Oh, hang on. What's this? Hunter Seeker. Choose one named leader that's in the area. It's the same sector as the Harkonnen leader. Place that leader on the regeneration tank. We could just kill Paul. And then he can't complete that quest. Yep. See you, Paul. See you, mate. To the tank with you. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta suck as the Atreides player, because he could have got 3 points using Paul from the pre-science cards. Well, he's got Jessica. Jessica can draw a planning card and play a planning card. He really wants to get a move because he wants to take that city, and he only had the Mentat. What's this? Battle language. Move or attack with a legion or with a leader. Of course, okay? If a battle starts, your opponent can only roll a max of 4 dice. Well, I think that's pretty much what he wanted, because he wants to take the North Pole. And why does he take that army to the North Pole? I will never know. Why didn't you use the other one with only 2 units on the left there? Could have even taken the other base, but there you go. The Atreides is a good guy, keeping me in the game, and he's going to go up on 3 tracks, and he's going to take Paul upgraded because he got the green one to track number 3. So Paul's got a cool new stance now. Doesn't do much else. He's still in the regeneration tank. Probably won't ever see Paul again, to be honest, so not too worried about that. He has to reveal his garrison cards because it was an attack. I think so, at least. Alright, pretty strong army he's got there, 3 leaders and all those elites. And he's used those cards. Back over to my turn. I'm just going to circumvent. I got an ornithopter, so I'm just going to cruise around. Oh, no, I didn't. No, that was one I used earlier. I think I was just discarding it because I forgot. So I'm just going to sidestep that sandworm token. Not a huge fan. Haven't done me any favours this game, those sandworm tokens, so let's just step around. These guys, maybe just risk it. Why not? You can't hit a sandworm every time, right? Oh, well, yeah. Well, 50-50. Got to be a worm now and then, right? Maybe every single time you just bloody flip one over, but that's fine. It's fine. Probably miss a few attacks, surely. Oh, all hits. Okay. 4 losses. 2 more elites down the gurgler. Alright, well, we've got 4 basic boys. Sandworm disappears after attacking. He just eats his lunch and takes off. Quick meal is a good meal, and that's that done. But we're one step away from taking another stitch, which, to be honest, the Atreides hasn't done a great job at defending those. He's got his biggest army stuck in the middle of the board. Terrible. What was he thinking? I've got another leader movement too, because I'm using my special card. So Baron Harkonnen's just gonna go in a controlling area, ready to attack anywhere adjacent to him. No, maybe not. Yeah, done. Should have moved the leadership card off the track, but I know I'm not going to use it again. That was my last dice. Both done with playing cards this round, so it's time to drop the worm signs on the board and see how many of my harvesters get killed this time. I see 5 harvesters and 4 tokens, so pretty poor effort there. 1 harvester gets destroyed, 1 gets undetected, and 3 are just blanks or little lumps because they're not on deep desert. These other tokens need to be flipped as well. Nothing. What was I worried about? And even that one. Oh, absolute duck eggs. Okay. Next, I should be rolling for storms. Of course, I'll forget to do that. And I'll have to spend my spice. I had how many spice there? 1, 2, 3, 4 spice. So I'm going to keep 2 tracks where they are and move the top one down. So it costs 2 to keep a track where it is, so spending 4 spice to keep 2 where they are. Carryalls did nothing. Ornithopter's going to scout that token. Paul, slowly regenerating. Game's almost over, Paul. Don't know what you're doing, mate. Refresh leaders, didn't need to do that. Discard down to 6 planning cards, don't need to do any of that. Harkonnen players like, well, Paul's dead, so this card's useless. Going to discard these 2 cards and get 3 fresh ones. What have we got? Reveal 3 deployment tokens, 2 minor earn areas, and spend a desert power action to get 1 point. Next round. So I still haven't rolled for those storms, which is definitely a big mistake. This is a Ben and Gesserit card, so that's a little symbol in the middle that lets you change dice to whatever dice result you want. And that was some troop deployment I didn't quite catch where. Alright, remove 2 dice. Roll the rest. Shouldn't be rolled just yet, but let's just put them out. Movement. Oh, deployment. First time I've seen it. Movement. Oh, lots of movement. That's good. And more deployment. Oh, what a roll. Best roll. Gotta get harvesters out as well. Let's start the spice mining fields to the right here. Don't see the point in spreading out. I do get it. You are supposed to use those carryalls and spread them around the board, and you can make use of their ability, but if you've got a safe corner of the world, let's just harvest it completely. It makes more sense to me. Ornithopters, let's get them over near these armies. They've got to get to their destinations quick. Yep, beautiful, nice job. Carryall, well, putting one there makes sense. The other one doesn't really matter because they can't reach that section. Rolling the Atreides dice, what have they got? They have got Oh, a house. That's good. Houses are wild, so you can use it for any other result. 2 houses and 2 movement, so you can technically move all of his dice. Looks like he's going to start out his round with a worm sign pull, trying to slow me down, maybe attack that army from the back. Didn't really use heaps of logic there. I can fly over that worm sign tokens, I'm not too worried about that. And this one, well, I'm not going to give him the time to attack me in the back, I'm just going to go ahead and attack. So, going to be 4 versus 4. The stitch counts as 2, and we've got to have an elite, 2 elites here. Oh, actually a lot closer than I anticipated. Maybe I'm the fool. I've got a lot of planning cards to throw at this combat, so I can use 2 planning cards to boost my 4 dice to a 6 dice pool. So I think I'm just deciding which cards I want to get rid of here. Seems like a pretty important battle, so let's... Who needs spies, really? Spies, Sandmasters, I've got bloody harvesters everywhere. All good. Alright, 6 dice. And he's going to have 6 dice as well. He's going to discard, so that has to be done off camera. He's got 3 leaders and 3 knives. And he's got... I don't think he's got any leaders in the battle, so... I think he just rolled the worst possible, basically the worst, yeah. He's got no leaders. So he sort of lost this battle before it began. Blocked him out and getting 3 attacks on him. Just brutal. Just brutal. Oh, actually, he's got a Freightican, so removes one of my block dice, so he does get 1 hit on me. I mean, I've only got regular boys, so I lose 1 whole dice for that. And he's also going to lose 1 dice because I'm going to destroy both of his elites and 1 regular is going to come and replace. However, I only need to get 1 more attack through to win this fight. So, do I really want to discard cards? Well, yeah, I'm reckless. I just want to win this. So, give us 6. Oh no, 5. Sorry, I've got 3 dice there. Yeah, you're not supposed to be reading notes. Oh yeah, they're going to discard as well to also get 5. V5, let's go. Lots of knives, 4 knives, easy. You're only going to have to get 1. He's going to need 4 defense to survive this. Oh, and a knife. Well, nothing. What a waste of cards on both sides. Yep, confirming nothing. 3 dice each now. No one's going to add extra dice. I mean, extra cards to this. Knife, shield. Yeah, just go again. No one's backing out. Knife, special. That's 3 knives. 2, 1 knife and a block. So that's going to be a win for me. I lose a unit. They're going to lose a unit as well. 2 more victory points. We are like cruising this home. 2 more up and we get this leader out. And this guy, the most important thing he says is move 1 Imperial marker to your choice directly to the band box to gain 1 supremacy point. This guy, you can just buy leader. You can just buy victory points with that guy. So only once per round, but it seems pretty good to me. Lady Jessica's going to join in. And he put a deployment token there as well, so he must have done the deploy action over there. I think he can see that I'm planning an attack up that way with those ornithopters nearby. Considering doing the attack straight away, just jumping that sandworm token and just going straight for the attack, really. See if we can win this game off quick and good. Got the better of me though, and I decided to move both leaders using both ornithopters into the same area. and reinforce each other, ready for a longer battle. So I'm going to use both of my ships. Back over to the Atreides, and he's going to keep deploying, I imagine. Yep. And you got any more leaders to throw in there? No. Should have added a leader there. That's too bad. Ooh, replace 3 regular with 3 elite. Now that is tasty. So these 3 regulars into 3 elite. This couldn't have worked out sweeter. Big group of leaders there too is going to be dangerous dice rolls. Alright, they are all out of deploys. They've only got movements left. It's not really what they want. So they're going to do the worm sign action to make better use of these movements when they get them. Looks like they're performing the pincer maneuver on both sides there. Here comes the attack, and ooh, they've got some good reinforcement tokens there. 3 elites and 3 normals. And I put 2 normals out. So can't stop cheating this guy. Alright, big roll. Worm sign included. Let's see what we get. 5 on my side, 6 on theirs. Alright, there's some complicated stuff going on here. Jessica adds a defense, and the normal leader adds an attack, and there's 1 leader dice not used. And for me, I've got 4 attacks and a defense. It's pretty straightforward. So 3 attacks for them. And for me, I've got 4 attacks against 2 defense, so it should be 2. And here's where I realize 2, but I've also got 2 Fredekrin there. So I decided to lose the elite instead. Okay. So the Fredekrins should have really lowered the damage done by, I mean, the defenses of both players by 2 each, because I've got 2 increased elites there, and they've got 2. Looks like I overlooked that. Looking good for them. 2 defense or 5 attack and 1 defense. So it should be 5 attack on me, I think. So I must have got for 2 attack through, and they should have 5. Because the Fredekrins should have ignored my defense there. Looks like a few more attacks are going through. Too sure how I lost that many troops over there. And that's 4. I really made a mess of this fight. Alright, well that's gonna kill the rest of them. Harkonnens have done some very, very, very dodgy things going on here to take this stitch, that's for sure. I didn't realise my rolling was that suspect. But let's move this up 2 more. Clearly I'm in a hurry. And I've got 2 deployment tokens left, so all out of moves, but can reinforce a lot, which should be useful. Pretty sure I wouldn't have won that fight if I had played the Atreides right. They're moving up here, making their way towards those cities. And these guys are going to sneak around this way, putting pressure on Cathrag. I'm all out of moves, but I do have deployments, so I can defend those cities. Yeah. They had the free movement. This one's going over to go chomp down some harvesters, I believe. It's going to reveal 3 deployment tokens to complete one of the objectives on the sideboard. It's just to get 1 green point. Okay, I'm going to use this card to get a leader of my choice, an elite and a regular unit, and do a movement. Okay, seems like an interesting set of decisions going on there. They're going to take out this settlement, giving them 1 point on each track. That unlocks the upgraded Lady Jessica to Reverend Mother. Some spoilers there for the movie, I'm assuming, which I haven't seen. The second one at least, because it's not out yet. And yeah, he's taking over Hagar Basin, just like that. And I'm realizing now that the deployment action is actually just better than probably that card I just used. So he gets 2 regular, 1 elite, and a leader, and I can spread them out across as many cities as I want. Looks like I'm thinking that Cathrag can defend itself. Oh yeah, that's probably a good idea to add that elite in there as well. Make them both look like uninviting prospects to attack. Worm signs. Let's hope I put out the correct number of worm signs this time. Suspiciously on the border again, that one. Let's see what happens. Oh, some spoilers there. Let's put that one back, I think. Now I tried to put a token there. Let's see if I go back and do it. Oh, I do. That's good. Blank, 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 worm, blank, worm, blank. 2 dead harvesters. As you like. Carriel could have saved 1. I think I'll remember. Alrighty. And counting up how many harvests I got, I had 6 harvests there. So all the tokens can remain where they are. That was my decision. Took me 1 second to decide. Atreides player doesn't like any of those cards, so he's going to remove them all and get 3 fresh ones. Now you'd hope that none of these cards would involve Paul or Jessica. That'd be the dream. Oh wait, Paul drinks the water of life. Okay, needs Paul. Jessica and Paul are on the board. Okay, so those 2 cards are no good. And Dew Collectors, yeah, I don't think he's interested in yellow points based on how quickly I look at those. Here's me remembering about my Carriel and how I should have got 1 more spice. So there's a 1 spice reserve token that you can use if you have some leftover spice from your payments. Gonna add that in there for next round. Not that I think I'd need it. Being on 9 points now. So I just need to roll 1 strategy dice and I can win the game. Because my strategy leader can let me go up 1 rank on the strategy track. That's game over. So kind of feels all pointless, these steps, but here I am just in case, putting the ornithopters out. I ran out of harvesters to put out. I've got them all out there already. The strategy of just having a huge harvester mining strip is working out really well. I'm doing some logic behind putting that there. Yeah, roll the dice. Most important dice. Oh yeah, I'm remembering about the actual storm attacks. So make up for all the cheating I've done. I rolled 3 instead of 2. So I think it's net even now. And yeah, apparently they were all elite. So now they're all soldiers. Okay. So let's look at what I rolled. Strategy, and deployment, mentat, and a bit more strategy. So I've got 4 chances to win the game. That's good. That's a pretty safe amount of chances to win the game. Let's see about the Atreides. Leadership, deployment, mentat. I mean, Atreides made a real mess of this. Not really, to be fair. They sort of got sort of a bit of a raw deal given from the director here, but surely they couldn't like sneak a win. They're gonna attack Kafrag. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they? That's 2 victory points on all tracks. Huh. Oops. Yeah, enough of that. Alright, well I've got 4 dice. And they're like, well, let's just make it 6. This is pretty important. This is my last chance of winning. Me, for some reason I'm considering my options. Thinking that, you know, no matter what I do, no, just chuck them in. All right, 5v4, 5v6, let's go. Apparently I've got 6. Oh yeah, no, 6v6, that is correct. I'm not cheating this time. All right. Very even looking result for me. They've got some serious leaders in this fight. So 1 defense dice is ruled out because of the leaders. 1 of their defense dice is ruled out because of my elite, I should say. So this is what it looks like. They can change that special into 2 daggers using this guy. So that's what they're going to do. That gives them a total of 4, 5, 6 daggers to 2 shields. That's going to be 4 wounds. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Apparently my maths on this playthrough was either really bad or maybe my maths now is really bad. I'm not sure. Clearly I need someone to keep me in check on these games. Playing a game solo by yourself, 2-player. Not to think, well, shit, they've actually nearly filled in all the tracks. So, did they just win? Did they actually just win the game? 6 green, 3 yellow, 9 red. Oh, okay. One short on the red. So, they always won, but too bad. Too bad. But hopefully this video was helpful. Hopefully you got an idea of exactly how the game sort of played, sort of the strategies involved. There's not many videos out there, so yeah, please, if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. It'd really help out the channel. And thanks for watching, and let's start playing. I'm going to have a whole bunch of tutorials out there, especially for Board Game Arena. And hopefully going forward I'll move on to tabletop games when I get all the equipment set up. Thanks.